Shakespeare once said, "What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet." But apparently, a lot rides on a name, at least for the political parties of this country. A row, a controversy, call it what you may, since we are talking about names today. Pick your choice. Basically, a war of words and wit has erupted today after one of the G20 invites to guests went out on behalf of the President of Bharat instead of the President of India, as was the case so far. This afternoon, Congress MP Jairam Ramesh ignited a debate, saying this name means that the government is attacking the Union of States. After that, Assam's Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma added to the intrigue with a tweet mentioning the Republic of Bharat. Now, the BJP says it is a move towards decolonization, a step to come out of the slave mentality. But the opposition hit out at the government, claiming that the name change has been triggered by the government's fear of the India alliance.
भारत होगा या इंडिया होगा, हमारे देश की जो टैक्स पेयर है आम लोग तय करे, सिर्फ मोदी नहीं, आम लोग तय करे।
तो अगर किसी पार्टियों का अलायंस इंडिया बन जाता है तो वो देश का नाम बदल देंगे। कल मान लीजिए इस इंडिया अलायंस ने अपना नाम बदल के भारत रख लिया, तो फिर भारत भी बदल देंगे। फिर क्या भारत का नाम बीजेपी रखेंगे?
Only recently, the RSS chief has also said that the name has to be changed from India to Bharat. So what is the political agenda behind that? That is the question now, which is looming large.
अगर इनको इंडिया से दिक्कत है तो भारत से भी दिक्कत होना चाहिए। जुड़ेगा भारत, जीतेगा इंडिया, ये हमारा नारा है। कहाँ क्या बातें कर रहे हैं ये लोग? डरे हुए लोग हैं।
এতে নতুনত্ব কি আছে? ইংরেজিতে বলে ইন্ডিয়া, ইন্ডিয়ান কনস্টিটিউশন, হিন্দিতে বলে ভারত কা সংবিধান। ভারত তো আমরাও বলি, মনে নেই? ভারত আমার, ভারতবর্ষ স্বদেশ আমার স্বপ্ন গো। কিন্তু নতুন করে কিছু করার নেই। কিন্তু ইন্ডিয়ার নামটা নামে সারা বিশ্ব চেনে। হঠাৎ এমন কি হলো আজকে দেশের নামটাও চেঞ্জ হয়ে যাবে?
ये जो भारत नाम है ये हजारों साल से सला हुआ है, इसीलिए भारत को कोई नया नाम देने का जरूरत नहीं है। हमारा ये देश भारत था, भारत है और भारत रहेगा।
ये सारे हम जो कहते हैं कि हमको दासत्व की मानसिकता से बाहर आना है, कॉलोनियल माइंडसेट से बाहर आना है, ये उसके लिए सबसे बड़ा स्टेटमेंट है।
भारत का संविधान, और मैं अंग्रेजी वाली बात कोट करूंगी, वो कहता है इंडिया दैट इज भारत। इंडिया जो भारत है, तो भारत का संविधान भारत मानता है।
तो ये इंडिया का ना ही भारत है, इंडिया का ना भारत है, रखिया कौन रख रहा है?
Now, those were political voices, but politics aside, the earliest roots of Bharat, Bharata or Bharatvarsh are traced back to the Puranic literature and to the epic Mahabharata. The Puranas describe Bharat as the land between the sea in the south and the abode of snow in the north. But of course, a lot of people also have objections to the references to ancient scriptures and books. So let me also give you a reference from our constitutional history. On the 17th of September, this very month, back in 1949, during the Constituent Assembly debates, the section Name and Territory of the Union was taken up for discussion, and eventually the line India, that is Bharat, was adopted under Part 1 of Article 1 of the Indian Constitution. A gentleman by the name of Har Govind Pant, who represented the hill districts of the United Provinces, said about the name India, and I quote him, "This name was given to our country by foreigners who robbed us of our freedom. If we, even then, cling to the word India, it would only show that we are not ashamed of having this insulting word which has been imposed on us by alien rulers. Unquote. Now, Article 1 is being talked about since this news broke in afternoon today. Article 1 is what the government is citing. But the opposition, Congress's Manish Tiwari, put out Article 52 that states, and I quote, there shall be a President of India, not Bharat, but India. Now, we don't have an official confirmation on it yet, but just to give you a rough idea, 9 other countries have renamed themselves in recent times. For instance, Turkey has changed its name to Turkiye, Czech Republic to Czechia, Holland to Netherlands, Burma to Myanmar, Ceylon to Sri Lanka, Siam to Thailand, and so on and so forth. Now, if this is indeed brought in as a resolution in the special parliamentary session, as is being said and talked about today, how would this process be carried out? What are the legalities involved in it? And what would this political war over a name even entail? Now, before I get into the politics of it, let me take this to my guest tonight, Mr. PDT Achari, constitutional expert, joins us. Let me first understand from him what this basically means for our constitution and what this hullabaloo and fuss is all about. Mr. PDT Achari, good evening. Welcome to Mirror Now. Somebody like you is the best person to help us understand right now what this fuss is all about, whether this fuss should even exist. We already have part 1 of Article 1 of the Constitution, which states India, that is Bharat. How right or wrong is it to use the term Bharat in place of India?
Well, what I want to say is that the name of a country can be changed. Parliament has the power to change the name of the country by bringing a bill to Parliament to amend the Constitution. So Parliament has absolute power to do that. But here, we do not know what exactly is going to happen, whether the government is going to amend the Constitution. But here, some people say that, well, Article 1 says India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states, and therefore India and Bharat can be used interchangeably. Well, so far as my information, my knowledge goes, I don't think that is the correct position, because a country can have only one name. It cannot have 2 names or 3 names. That will create a lot of confusion, because official communication has to mention only one name. Otherwise, it will create quite a lot of confusion. Whether it is India or Bharat, if the government, if the Parliament wants to name this country as Bharat, then naturally the word India will go, and Bharat will remain. So that is what the Parliament can do.
Fair point, Mr. Achari. There can't be 2 names, which is absolutely understandable. But as you said, that the Parliament can do it. What's the process like if the government does bring in that resolution and, this process is taken forward to have the country called Bharat from now on? Is there any constitutional amendment that is required? What is the process like, sir?
Well, my understanding is that it requires a constitutional amendment. It is, I don't know. Okay. Why anybody says that a resolution can be brought and the name can be changed. That is not the process. The process is to bring a bill before the Parliament and get it passed by a special majority by each house, and then submit it to the President. President will certainly give his assent, and then it becomes a law, and then the Constitution would stand amended. So this is the process. Of course, we do not know whether the government is going to do that. But I can say that A resolution is not the right way. A resolution cannot bring about an amendment of the constitution. And to rename a country, certainly, amendment of the constitution is required.
Okay, so an amendment is required, and therefore, the number game, all of that will play out. But, sir, you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, that even if it is mentioned in our constitution, the phrase India, that is Bharat, which is being used through the day today, that doesn't mean that we can use it interchangeably, or our official communique can naturally pass to Bharat and transition to Bharat.
No, actually, what I say is that this word, that is Bharat, that is descriptive. India, that is Bharat, means India that is known as Bharat all through. That is what it denotes. Otherwise, if you use these two things, these two terms, interchangeably, then some people will use India, some people will use Bharat, and there will be a hell of a lot of confusion, particularly outside the country. So that cannot be, that cannot be done at all. The name of India has to be one, whether it is India or Bharat, but both cannot be used. Therefore, there is no question of these two terms being used interchangeably, merely because the Bharat word is there. It is, according to me, it is a descriptive term which describes India. In fact, you must know that when the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly drafted this constitution, the original draft which was placed before the Assembly, the Article 1 was like this: India shall be a union of states. That is, Bharat was not there at all. And when it came before the Assembly, when Assembly started discussing it, of course, so many suggestions came and so many names were brought in. Bharatvarsh, Hindustan, and Bharat, and so many other names were brought in by many members. But ultimately, the chairman of the drafting committee, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he brought in an amendment saying India, that is Bharat. So that is a descriptive term, so far as my understanding goes, and that describes what is India. Not that both these terms can be used, because the Constitution does not say anywhere that both India and Bharat can be used. In fact, in the Hindi version of the Constitution, it's only Bharat that is used, not India. So that is there. But in the English version of the Constitution, it is always India that has been used. And you should also know that in the Constitution, in no article is this word used, Bharat. I mean, this Bharat word is used. That is also there. Everywhere it is India only.
But Mr. Achari, then how do you explain that if they cannot be used interchangeably, how do we explain the fact that our passports, our Aadhaar card, our PAN cards, our cards, voter ID cards, all of them have used the word Bharat. We have the English version written on it, but we also have the term Bharat, Bharatiya Nirvachan Ayog, Bharat Sarkar. All of these are written on our personal ID cards. Then how does one explain that if they cannot be used interchangeably?
No. Using those two terms interchangeably is one thing, and using the Hindi version is different thing. Hindi version is always used because, so far as Government of India is concerned, both the languages have to be used. Hindi is the official language and English is also used. That's how it is. But that doesn't mean that these words are being used interchangeably. They are using it. Bharat is used in Hindi and India is used in English. That is how it is. That is what I meant when I said that these terms cannot be used interchangeably.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it there. Mr. P.D.D. Achari, thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now and helping us understand what the process is like constitutionally in this whole row that has erupted over India versus Bharat. Let me also go across to my other guests tonight. Charu Pragya of the BJP joins us. Sujata Paul of the Congress Party joins us, and Krishank, spokesperson of the BRS, also joins us tonight. Good evening. Welcome to all of you. Thank you very much for talking with Mirror Now. Sujata Paul, first to you. India, that is Bharat, Article 1 of the Indian Constitution completely mentions that. As I said, our passports, our personal ID cards all have the word Bharat written on it. What's the problem if now the president has used Bharat instead of India?
These are indications which are being given by the Bharatiya Janata Party, because there's this book called The Bunch of Thoughts written by Golwalkar. And on page 238, he wrote, and I quote, "Our constitution too is just a cumbersome and heterogeneous piecing together of various articles from various constitutions of Western countries. It has absolutely nothing in its guiding principles as to what our national mission is." That means that they hated the constitution, and that is what their aim has always been, to change the constitution. Now, their hatred for Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar is also being manifested in their desire to, change the name. For us, Mera Bharat Mahan, जीतेगा भारत जुड़ेगा इंडिया और जुड़ेगा भारत जीतेगा इंडिया, for us it's the same thing. मेरी जान हिंदुस्तान, I love my India, they're all the same for us. For us, all the names are important, but I do understand where it's coming from. Because if you remember, the Prime Minister at one point of time had said that A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB, and he said that the 2AB was extra. He said it was equal to, and then he said 2AB was extra. So that is his understanding, because there is oneness in everything that he wants, probably because he finds it a little difficult to understand. But if we are going to be held to ransom at, and to his whims and fancy, obviously people are not going to accept it. Supposing the opposition alliance calls itself Bharat Harmony Alliance Rising Amid Togetherness, then what? Will he go and change the name of Bharat to something else? I mean, this one should be very clear that when the opposition meeting happened, the second one at Bangalore, Karnataka, and the name was announced, the Prime Minister has gone all out abusing it, because he said that this was Ghamandiya, literally like an abuse. Then his guys started talking about it as I.N.D.I.A, then India Alliance. So obviously this has rattled him. And the second point is that they are trying to divert and distract us from the main issues of Adani, China, Manipur, Mengai, Beruzgari. These are the main issues. And in his Jumlebazi, the Muddebazi will not go away. The Muddebazi will be continued by us, because that is what concerns people of this country. And the last point, Mr. Bhagwat, if you remember, some days back he said, we should not be using India, we should change the name to Bharat. This is where it's coming from, and that is why I hold up this book again and again, that this is basically the RSS plan which is being executed now, but it won't really work. And this is so silly that we are having discussions of this when there are other more important things. Yes.
Okay, all right. Krishank of the BRS. Krishank, for somebody who comes from a party that changed its name from Telangana Rashtra Samiti to Bharat Rashtra Samiti, what is your stand on this?
Well, we don't feel anything new. I mean, why is there a debate that there is a change when this was always in practice? I've heard your guest speaker and expert speaking, saying that people will be confused, people are confused. Well, we are living with this for decades now. This is not new. India or Bharat in constitution or in our languages has been in use. Not just this, we have the famous Navaratna or the PSUs named with BSNL, BEML, BDL, BHEL. All of this start with Bharat, irrespective of English or Hindi or whatever it is. I'm from Telangana. We proudly speak Telugu and we call it Bharata Desham. Anyone agrees or not, that is what we use. So what is Bharata Desham? If in English it is India, who is confused today? So why is this a political debate for Bharatiya Janata Party, and why are they thinking that they've changed something? There is no change at all. Someone wants to call it India, someone wants to call it Bharat, someone wants to call it Bharata Desham, or someone wants to change the currency notes again. Tomorrow, unless and until BSNL, BDL, BEML are privatized or sold to someone, till then these names will continue. So the point here is the goalpost shifting by BJP. Today, they want to shift the agendas of this nation in front of the polls. There are 5 states where BJP or the poll experts or the psephologists are saying that BJP is not going to win. And that is the reason they are coming up with the goalpost shifting of new agenda setting. And one of those agenda settings today, we feel, is about a debate on India or Bharat. So this has been a practice, not just in the Constitution.
Okay, let me go across to Charu Pragya. Okay, Charu Pragya, the opposition has accused you of bringing in a weapon of mass diversion. When they had their last opposition alliance meet, there was the idea of one nation, one poll that was being talked about. Now that we're running up to the election, you've come up with India versus Bharat. How do you explain this? They also tell you that you are taking the credit. You're stealing the credit of something that already exists in the Constitution.
Good evening, Shreya. And yes, I've been listening to my co-panelists as well. Let me remind them that the conversation around one nation, one election has existed ever since Prime Minister Modi came to the center. That's not a new conversation. I'm sorry it bothers them so much. As for the invitation that has been circulating in the media today, wherein our Honorable President is inviting all the delegates for a meal, and it says President of Bharat. Let me remind them that when our Honorable Prime Minister also travels abroad, all his itineraries read Prime Minister of Bharat. Most recently, he went to Indonesia. All you have to do is look at his itinerary. And it's so rich coming from the Congress party, who actually named their own yatra as Bharat Jodo Yatra. They didn't seem to have a problem then. They have a problem now. India has always given out Bharat Ratna. The first page of our constitution reads India, that is Bharat. We have these numerous songs which talk about nationalism, patriotism, and all of them talk about Bharat. That's our country. I don't know why you want to pick on this discussion. Let me remind also the Congress spokesperson that I did not call for this debate. Mirror now did, and I'm a guest here as much as you are. So I'm following their agenda. You're not following mine. See, most importantly, when they think that everything revolves around their alliance, the Indy alliance, they don't seem to understand that if they are not coming up with any constructive work in that alliance, how can anything revolve around that alliance at all? It's a lot of self-importance that they give themselves, and it is continued. So let's make one thing very clear. This is a country which is multilingual. This is a country where over 50% of the languages actually use the word Bharat or some form of it. This is a country where Bharat, the word Bharat, has been older than India. It's existed since before you, me, or even our grandparents were born. I don't know what this debate is all about and why it is hurting them so much. I have always continued to use Bharat. We say Bharat Mata Ki Jai, and we say it with a lot of pride. So let's just cut out all the chatter. And you want to stay on issues, let's please stay on issues. Let's stay on the issue of all the meetings that you seem to think is upsetting the world. Let's talk about that meeting. What did you discuss in that meeting? Did you discuss that you need to put down Sanatan Dharma collectively? Because you are not calling out the perpetrators of who are calling out for the genocide of Hindus. What did you decide? Did you come up with a convener, a common minimum program? Did you decide a seat share? Could you even decide on a logo? So, madam, I'm sorry. You need to come down from your high horse and get some work done before you start pointing fingers and saying
okay, Sujata Paul responds. Sujata Paul respond. Fair point there, Yeah.
Shreya,
okay, Sujata Paul, you want to respond. Fair point by Charu Pragya there. You called your yatra Bharat Jodo Yatra, and now you have a problem with the President of India calling it the country Republic of Bharat. What's the problem?
I'm a teacher, Shreya. And I don't have any problem with
Can I request the camera person to please zoom in on our Prime Minister's...
Can you keep quiet now? I think it's my turn.
Charu, I'll come back to you. Let's
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Shreya, I'm a teacher, and let me tell you, can you stop interjecting?
Charu, I'll come back to you. Let Sujata respond.
She's rattled. And you can see that. Okay, Shreya, so very interesting. I never said that I have a problem with
Charu, give me a moment. I'll come back to you. Sujata, respond.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that as a teacher, I can tell you that I have always taught students that, our official name has been Republic of India. And this official name will have to be changed, and this information will have to be sent to the United Nations and to the rest of the countries before we start changing our name unofficially. Because you have constitutional amendments which will be required to change Article 1 and so on and so forth. But the fact is that I never said that I have a problem with either Bharat, India or Hindustan. I said Bharat jeetega, India judega, or vice versa. For me, it's the same thing. So the BJP spokesperson really does have a problem. She's rattled by the opposition unity 100%, because otherwise why would she be asking about what is happening in our meetings? Do we ask them what is happening in their meetings? Poor thing. Why should you be bothered who's going to be the convener here?
Okay, Charu Pragya wanted to come in. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Charu Pragya, you wanted to come in, but before that, Sujata Paul, happy Teachers' Day to you. Teachers' Day greetings. You said you're a teacher.
Thank you.
Teachers' Day greetings. Now, Charu Pragya, you can respond.
Thank you.
Yes, well, Sujata,
Charu, go ahead.
It's lovely to learn that you're a teacher, and happy Teachers' Day to you. But if you're a teacher, then you should know that what you're saying, Republic of India, is also called Bharat. There is a translation of our constitution into multiple official Indian languages, and like I said, most of them call our country as Bharat, but you must have missed that. Don't worry, you can go back and check that again. Also, you just need to make a mountain out of a molehill. When we are here reclaiming our pride, when we talk of Bharatiya Sanskriti, when we talk of the Indian way of life, when we talk about a culture which has become soft power the world over, we talk about Bharatiyata. I think that upsets you, because you have too much of your thoughts, teachings, etc. coming from elsewhere, definitely not from India. You're the one who's dividing India into two parts. Now the newest thing is North and South. Did you even condemn that? And why should I not question it? Because if the end result of that so-called meeting in a resort of yours was that one of your alliance partners calls out for our genocide, I am concerned, madam. And if you were a good citizen of this country, you would be concerned too. Every single Bharatiya is concerned about it. Because if the meeting said that go out and say what you want about Sanatan Dharma and we'll back each other up, did you actually clarify what Karti Chidambaram said? Forget about what DMK said. Did you clarify what Karti
Listen, ladies, one at a time, please. Sujata, let Charu speak. I'll come back to you.
For me, Sujata, this is Mirror now.
No problem.
I'm sure you know how debates are conducted on different channels. This is Mirror now. Did you bother to issue a clarification? Did your Neta, Mr. Gandhi, bother to issue a clarification or a condemnation on that terrible statement that happened
Okay, ladies.
A conference which was named...
Okay, one at a time. Nobody will understand what you are saying, what you're both saying. Charu and Sujata, like Charu said, this is Mirror now, and we have to have a constructive, healthy debate here.
Do you not do that?
Okay.
Have you forgotten about the temple?
Yeah, okay, let me go across to Krishank.
Just before elections?
Shreya ji,
Okay, Krishank, you want to make a point? Please go ahead.
Yes. Shreya ji, in your initial package, you have mentioned about the Parliament debate when the Constitution of India was drafted and placed in front of the August House of Parliament, and you've quoted Har Gobind Singh Panchi when he has proposed the two names, Bharat or Bharatvarsha. Then let me also tell you that Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar ji raised up to put his opinion only with a single line, asking the August House that is this debate essential? The same question arises today again. Is this debate essential now? Be it India or Bharat, yes, we are Bharati,
Absolutely.
we are Indians,
So,
whatever name it is,
I think this...
if India. So why today
the answer to this, I think Sujata Paul can give you, Krishank. Correct. Can I go across to Sujata Paul, who is perhaps the perfect person on the panel to reply to your question? Sujata Paul, why are we having this debate? Why this opposition to the term Bharat being used by the BJP, by the BJP-led government?
See, it is the Bharatiya Janata Party, which, at an international meet which is being organized in India, is trying to create all these problems. Like I said, that we have an official name. Unless and until that official name is changed, why should you come up with, these invites with Bharat? We have no problem with the name Bharat. We love Bharat Mata, right? And like I said, whether it is Bharat, India, or Hindustan, for us, all the names are great. But when you are talking about the change of name which is happening, you can see the direction in which the country is going, because the parliament session which has been called, and it's a special parliament session where no questions can be asked, no discussions will happen. The agenda has not been cleared till now. So, the Bharatiya Janata Party can follow the diktats of their leader, their singular leader, but the country does not follow the Bharatiya Janata Party principally. Now, when you are talking about this change of name, it is clear that the direction that it is pointing towards is what Mohan Bhagwatji said. So first he makes a statement and then this invite comes out. However, in March 2016, you know very well that there was a petition before the Honorable Supreme Court, and the case was thrown out. The case was isliye thrown out. Sun lijiye, case was thrown out because the Honorable Chief Justice said that somebody will call India, somebody will call it Bharat. So you're free to choose what you want to do. Again, in 2020, there was another petition which was also thrown out. So is there a need to even discuss this? Is there a need to change the name without officially changing it for an international meet? A G20 is definitely at an international meet.
Before Charu, I let you respond. Yes, I'm going to come to you, I promise, and I know you've been trying to show us something on your phone. I'll come back to you, but let me also put out for our viewers some of the citizens' voices that came in today, that we heard today on this very issue. Let's go across and first get our viewers that, and I'll come back to you, Charu, after that.
There is no harm in calling it by the name of Bharat also, because we have been known both by Bharat, India, Hindustan, and this is what the name of the country is. We have never been known by one name. However, Bharat has been always the name of the country, but then this time it looks like it has been politically driven. Just after the opposition has named themselves as India, and now they have started calling this name and talking about Bharat and all those things, looks like it is politically driven, and they are trying to distract from the actual issue of the country.
Means whenever we see matches, it's between India and Pakistan. Nobody says that Bharat and Pakistan is going to play the match.
Bharat is the actual word which has been used for the independence of this country. Bharat Chodo Andolan. Have you ever heard or listened or read in any of the book India Chodo Andolan? No, na. It was Bharat Chodo. It was Lord Mountbatten which made this policy. India has a meaning also. You read that meaning, India is something which is associated, I don't remember that exact definition, but it was all about India. It was not a positive word. It was something to denote for the West Asians. There is one philosophy for that. That's why they killed the name Bharat. Now it is a comeback time.
I don't see how the name of the country is going to really change or bring India on the year map. Given how we've landed on Chandrayan's landed on the moon and other, financial initiatives that we have done as a government and as a country, I don't think right now the name really matters. But if the government thinks it's wise, then it's wise. I'm for it.
I'm not sure if the government has brought out a notification that they are going to table it this impending session in the parliament. And right from the morning, as you rightly said, the mainstream and also the social media have gone gung-ho about it. When a Bandh comes in, you always say Bharat Bandh, okay? And Rahul Gandhi just went on a Bharat Jodo Yatra.
All right, so those are the voices of the people. Now, Charu Pragya, I'm going to come to you. You have been trying to show us something on your phone. Please go ahead and respond to what Sujata, Paul and Krishank have been saying.
Thank you very much. Now, I'm glad the citizens have given me another point. Bharat Bandh, thank you very much. Now, Two very quick points. First of all, Sujata goes on and on about the official name of our country. The official name of our country is India and Bharat. The constitution says that very clearly. India, that is Bharat. So please don't presume to put words in people's mouth and by actually misstating facts by saying there is an official name and that is India. Our Honorable Prime Minister has been using Bharat for a very long time. This is nothing new. And that is what I wanted to show you. For the Indonesian visit of our Honorable Prime Minister, his entire itinerary went out with Bharat, Prime Minister of Bharat. That's what I wanted to show. I hope that has been clear and it's been visible. Also, I wanted to ask Sujata, who is it that has told you that the name is being changed? Why are you floating around rumors? Why are you spreading fake news? Has there been a notification? Has a government official spoken to you about this? Because I have not heard of this. Why are you doing this? So unless something is happening for sure and there is a notification, maybe you should just refrain from unwanted comments and unwanted discussions. Let's stay on more important issues. Why don't we?
Okay, Charu, then clear the air for us. Is the government indeed bringing in a resolution, bringing in a notification in the special parliament session on this? And if you are, then what is the need when there is already a name called India? What's the need for the country to be called Bharat when there is already an official name to it?
Shreya, are you also indulging in speculation? Because has the government said that? When the government says something like that, why don't we have another discussion?
No, I'm just asking you, Charu, what is being talked about?
What the parliament session is
My job is to ask you questions.
Shreya, can I?
So you are asking me questions on the basis of hypothesis? Is that what you're saying?
You know, the fact is everyone has been using Bharat for sure, and Bharat Jodo Yatra is an example. And I, right from the beginning, I've been saying that I have no problem with any of the names. None of us should have any problems because these are all names of our country, and for us, our country is our mother. But I don't think Charu is really being able to understand what I'm saying. And what I'm trying to say is that the official name, if it is not changed as per the constitution, if there are no notifications to change it, you can't just go and say that the name has been changed abroad. The Prime Minister is using it. If you are going to go to the UN, they will still call you representatives from the Republic of India. So there is a procedure for that. The Prime Minister doesn't follow any procedures. The Prime Minister does not believe in any rules. He doesn't believe in mathematical rules. I told you in the beginning. When he says equal to, he says what is there in the equal to is an extra. So, let's not even get there, because the fact is that whether it is Bharat, India, Hindustan, there's no problem. And like I said,
I don't know what you're trying to sound like, but it's definitely not intelligent.
The fact is that they are only trying to digress from the main issues, and Charu has already told you, Shreya, that let's not discuss all these things. I'll be so happy. Let's start discussing Manipur, Adani, China, all the Agnipath scheme, how children are committing suicides, how children are out on the streets. Let's discuss that. I'll be very happy about it. We don't want to discuss these things. And of course, the government, let's see how much of courage you will have.
And I'm sorry, we are taking a lot of time from the BRS spokesperson. Can I come in, Shreya? Can I come in, Shreya?
Yes, please go ahead, because I'm going to give the last word to Krishank. So Charu, please go ahead, then I'm going to wrap this up.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So it's been very clear that when the Congress spokesperson is talking, she glosses over issues which are of equal importance. Nobody took away the importance of Manipur, but you do that to Rajasthan continually. Shameful. Shameful. You still don't want to talk about calling out for the genocide of Hindus. Shameful. You still want to shake hands with men who want 80% of the Indians eradicated, and your leader nor you have anything to say about it. I don't know why you don't think those are issues as well, because the other issues we are not just addressing, we are also working on every single day. Unlike you, Sujata, whose party and its allies believe in photo ops and photo ops only, full stop.
And you believe in only one man. Very sorry to say that, and that's why you cannot speak beyond what WhatsApp forwards are.
Okay.
We're very proud of that one.
All right, Krishank, to you the last word before I wrap this up. Yeah.
Shreya ji,
go ahead, Krishank.
Shreya ji, I don't think you or your channel has held up this debate based on speculations or any hypothetical theories, and neither we are wasting our time prophesizing that Bharatiya Janata Party is doing it, and their souls are very clean politics. Because I've seen a statement of one Bharatiya Janata Party member of parliamentarian, Shri Harnath Singh Yadav ji. His statement today in front of media on record that he is demanding a change of name from India to Bharat. This is a BJP MP who has demanded. So that is the reason we feel there is a foul play, that in the special session is Bharatiya Janata Party or their MPs proposing that this is an important issue for the country before crucial polls which BJP is going to lose, that we, all the citizens of these 5 states where BJP is going to lose, has to debate of India or Bharat and the change of the name. On base of this MP statement, we are definitely talking here. This is not based on speculations or prophesizing or any hypothetical theories, but it is because of Bharatiya Janata Party's WhatsApp University graduates on social media who are discussing that, yes, suddenly they are speaking against India and are trying to advocate Bharat. But for us, India and Bharat are the same. I rest my case.
Okay. I'm afraid I have to wrap this up now here. Charu, Pragya, Sujata, Paul and Krishank from the BRS. Thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now and sharing your perspective on this political controversy of the India versus Bharat row. All right, let's move on and get you other updates as well. But right now, first of all, we'll head into a short break. News and updates continue on the other side. Stay tuned.